Issue number 6 of the Power Rangers Universe comic by Boom Studios is the last of this limited series. It's a good thing too. The finale to this poor series is a rather pathetic attempt to tie up loose ends, because when we get to the end of this video, you will see that this finale only creates more loose ends instead. This is because once again, there are going to be inconsistencies with the placement of this series. Does this fit in with the TV show's timeline? Or does it fit in with the comic book's timeline? Does it fit either? Well, the finale resumes with the Squadron Rangers battling Dark Specter, who's now controlling the Morphinaut. The Blue Ranger tries to close off the Archer's connection to save the grid. However, Dark Specter says that the Archer is an unstable prototype, so now that the connection is torn open, the Rangers won't be able to close it again. The Rangers continue to do battle with Dark Specter. At first, Dark Specter has the advantage as he is able to knock the Rangers down. Eventually, a few of the Rangers are able to combine their attacks and turn the tide on Dark Specter. This causes the Morphinaut to resurface. He tells the Squadron Rangers that Dark Specter cannot touch pure energy. Grid energy hurts him. Before he can say any more, the Morphinaut is suppressed again as Dark Specter takes over. The battle resumes. The Yellow Ranger says that Dark Specter is too strong. The Black Ranger says they need to think bigger. That gives the Blue Ranger an idea. Dark Specter needs the Morphinaut because he's still incompatible with the Morphin Grid. If the Rangers flood this planet with grid energy, it could force Dark Specter to abandon the Morphinaut and the planet, cutting him off from the Proto-Arch for good. The Rangers don't have that kind of power, but the Blue Ranger suggests that if they were to connect with the grid, they can direct the energy, but they'd be destroyed in the process. Initially, the Pink Ranger objected to the Blue Ranger's sacrifice, but when Dark Specter says he'll say hello to the Rangers' families, the Pink Ranger changes her mind. She says one person wouldn't be enough, and that all 6 Rangers need to connect with the grid. Here, it's confirmed that the Pink and Blue Rangers are lovers. And after that small revelation, the Squadron Rangers break their morphers. In doing so, we see the various Ranger powers once again, fluctuating as before. And a big twist here is that this energy transforms Planet 0017, which will soon be known as Earth. So, all of this took place on Earth's distant past. In Super Megaforce, Gosei basically tells the Rangers they could access powers that were never seen on Earth. This then is debatable. I suppose, yes, nobody in the 20th and 21st century knew about the Squadron Rangers, so they weren't seen. Then again, if the powers were on Earth, then Zordon and therefore Gosei should have known? Dark Specter is purged from the Morphinaut and we see the Pink Ranger in flux. In fact, all the Rangers are in flux. They've permanently radiated the planet with grid energy, so Dark Specter can't get to it. The Rangers' families within the grid will never see the Rangers ever again, but everyone will move on eventually. The Rangers aren't sure what they are now, but they know they have higher duties. Essentially, if they're in flux and have a higher calling now, I think it's safe to say the writers are telling us the Squadron Rangers are now emissaries. The Rangers use the remaining shards of their hearts to safely get the Morphinaut into the Morphin Grid, for he too has a higher calling. The Pink Ranger officially calls him the Phantom Ranger, and the future needs him to guide, to protect, and to teach. The Red Ranger says someone needs to get the new generations whipped into shape like the Red Ranger did for the Squadron Rangers. The Blue Ranger says someone will need to monitor the Morphin Grid. The Yellow Ranger says someone will need to keep an eye on the progress of advancing grid technology. The Green and Black Rangers say that they'll need to stay vigilant for any signs of Dark Specter. When the Blue Ranger asks what the Pink Ranger is going to do, she says something which makes no sense or even attempts to answer the question. She just says Dark Specter will try again, but she knows that Power Rangers will always be there to stop him. It's time to ensure those Guardians in this universe and all others have a fighting chance. So what is she going to do? All the Rangers depart for their new duties, and I don't know what the Pink Ranger is doing. No idea why she was even leading the other Rangers in the end. Eons later on planet Eltar, the Phantom Ranger falls out of the portal the Pink Ranger pushed him through, and that's how Zordon met the Phantom Ranger. Besides the Squadron Rangers being a power never seen on Earth despite the fact that it was, there were other issues. The Morphin Masters became Squadron Rangers, and then they became the Emissaries. That's a problem. It was established in Power Rangers that the first ones, or Morphin Masters, created the blue, red and yellow emissaries as the messengers. So is that not the case? In Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, the Imperials were created from the death of the emissaries. The Imperials would want to renew planets. How can the Morphin Masters, aka Squadron Rangers, aka Emissaries, give rise to the Imperials? Going with what happened in this issue of Power Rangers universe, it retcons what we saw in the Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers series. It's quite a bad retcon, as the stuff with the Imperials and Emissaries was all going on until recently. And already, it's not making any sense. What is the Pink Emissary doing? Where were the other 3 emissaries after the yellow, blue and red emissaries were killed? Why was the Black Squadron Ranger power not utilised by the Megaforce Rangers in the TV show? We know the real world reason: there wasn't a Black Ranger in the original Japanese series. Why did Boom Studios even bother to create the 6th Black Ranger? I think you can see some of the problems with this finale. It's a rather problematic end to a rather bad series.